Hello, hello, and welcome to our surprise event, Knee Health event. Please stay muted because I can hear you. I will mute everyone and keep that red microphone on. Don't unmute yourself until there is time for questions and answers. So good to see everyone. Sue rocking with me earlier to the music. And hello, David. And Taffy's back. All right. I hope you're doing well. You'll tell me soon. And Fiona and everybody else, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I thought about what we'll do today is an opportunity to reconnect for people who did the Outstanding Knees 2.0 course, whether in the form of the full immersion or just a course, do it yourself. If you haven't done it, this will be a way to introduce you to the work, the type of work that we're doing, the type of information, the type of practice. And it's an opportunity for people who are interested in helping their knees to take the steering wheel in your hands to get together and spend 90 minutes together. Of course, we will have a Feldenkrais lesson. There will be a chance to ask questions and a chance to reconnect. I hope that sounds good, but I also understand this is an evening, and for some of you already you're shutting down. Maybe you just had a dinner and now you're getting a little bit sleepy. So I would love to bring your attention to high level of focus with fire breath practice. Something that I practice whenever I feel I get sluggish, I get a little bit energy is low. Please come to the front edge of the seat. It will take only, I don't know, minute, 90 seconds or so. And you will have a chance to see if it actually works in bringing your focus, mental focus to highest level. You're sitting at the front of the seat. You will make gentle fists with your hands. And we're going to time inhalation with movement of the arms up, exhalation with movement of arms down. Of course, if your shoulders hurt, you could do very small movements or even don't do movements at all. These will be rapid breaths. So we are going to really pump our breathing mechanism. Are you ready? Let's go together. And we try to do it through our nose. And it's okay if something comes out of the nose. You will have a Kleenex or something afterwards. Ready? Let's start. Inhale, exhale down. In, out, in, out, in, out. We'll do about 30 of them. Let's do 15 more. Up, down, inhale, out, in, out, in, out. 5 more. In, out, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Come back down, breathe normally. We'll repeat it one more time, but let now oxygen and CO2 levels come back to equilibrium. Rest quietly, catch your breath, peacefully, quietly breathing. And we'll do the second set. Make fists and ready, set, go. Inhale, exhale. In, out, in, out, in, out. 15 more. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Stop. Again. Rest quietly. Breathe simply. And feel what's the level of your acuity, mental acuity, aliveness now. What's your sense of how just 2 minutes of practice, how they impact your sharpness, your mental sharpness? Now, come to the front of the computer, and in the chat, I'd like to know who is in the class. I would like to find out how many of you enrolled in Outstanding Knees 2.0. I don't ask whether you did it or not, but how many of you enroll? Put Y, yes. if you did not do or did not enroll in the course, put N. So I know who's who and what's the distribution. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, self-guided. That's right. That could be either I enroll, arthritic knees, no, yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no, yes, yes. So we have a fabulous mix of people who did the course and some people who are newbies or maybe even haven't heard about the outstanding knees before, or you've heard but haven't had a chance to try it yet. Beautiful. For people who did enroll, please put in the chat N for you haven't started yet, N for you haven't started, C for you completed it, or the number, if you remember which lesson you are currently going through, put the lesson number. If you just forgot which lesson, you can say in the middle of the course or 1/3. So Taffy says 13, up to 3, Annabelle. Nay, completed, great job. Middle, Uli, Yuli. Middle, not sure, Fiona. Middle somewhere. David didn't start, okay. Not sure, David Mayer, okay. 3. Wonderful. So the mix of some people who haven't started yet, some people who are in the middle, some people who are at the beginning stages, the 3rd lesson, 4th lesson or so, and at least one couple people. Joan completed and Nai completed. So great, fantastic. Here's an opportunity because I thought of this event to also be an opportunity for us to restart, kind of restart anew. No matter where you are, if you completed, fantastic. You did outstanding work, and you should, hats off to you for sticking with the program. But for people who maybe got stuck somewhere, or maybe are just taking it very slowly, or people who may feel like, oh, I bought that course, but I even haven't started yet. Don't feel bad. We all do it. And I'll do a little sidetrack. I'll try to stay on track, but I'll tell you, for those of you who've worked with me before, you might have heard that I had a really rough fencing season. I am a fencer. I compete with a veteran fencing, over 50 in the bracket categories, 50 to 60. And this year has been really rough for me. It's like for the first time in 7 years, I did not qualify for the World Championships. So kind of a blow to my confidence, blow to my training. And now I've done some self-reflecting. I often do it. And for those of you who are part of our membership program, you probably seen a session that I do at least once a year and sometimes twice a year when we do a New Year's resolutions. And in the middle of the year, we do it again. And we reflect on our process, where we are. So I did the same thing after my failure, after my poor performance. And I look at usually I go, what went wrong? First, I start what went right. What are the things that I should just put more fuel into? What went right during this season? Then started to examine what went wrong during this season. Then I started to, first of all, give some self-forgiveness rather than self-brutality, because we are our best, the worst critics, right? We are usually our own worst critics. So to give yourself a little forgiveness, to give yourself that it's okay that sometimes things don't work out as well as we wish. And then the questions like, who do I need to move forward, to change the trajectory of my previous year, to delineate what success looks like. And this could be in your knee health, or it could be in your fencing career, or whatever else you're doing. So what's the success like? And of course, working and calibrating my mindset. Like what, because of course there will be plenty of opportunities to withstand ups and downs. And again, whether you do fencing, sports, or learning musical instrument, or dealing with your knee, you will go through ups and downs. You will go through things that times where you feel you're getting better, and then you have a flare up, and it's big blow to your confidence, to your trust that the system that you're currently using is working or what not working. So you need a good, strong mindset that will get through that roller coaster. And another thing is to focus what you're good at, focus what's working. So in my typical, I love writing by hand. So my usual yellow pads are full. Like when it comes to fencing or whether it comes to work, I do like things like this. I'll delineate how many weeks until an event or so. So usually they're pretty filled. But then I reflected on that poor season, and you could see like that really was empty. I did not practice. Like this is my February, full week, nothing. Second, I even read to myself this morning preparing for this course. How funny. I started to say, like, after 3 weeks of practically not training at all, I say to myself, did I lose my drive, right? So I knew something is off, something is not, I'm not trying. Then I did some practice again, several weeks, nothing, zero, or maybe one practice or so. So no wonder that this season has not been as good as in the past. And one of the things that is important when you're setting yourself with goals is to make goals that are process oriented rather than outcome. Outcome oriented will be, I want to win a world championship, which I still do. I do want to win a world championship, but in sometimes how much can I affect that outcome? I don't know. I may have a good day, may have a bad day, I may have an injury, I may not be able to fence ever again, who knows? But there are goals that are much better when they are action or process oriented. So for example, I started this new season. By the way, if you look at this, it's pretty filled now. So I'm proud of myself that I am working, I'm chipping away. And here are also different pad brackets where I set goals that are process oriented, not outcome, not the world championship, not the win, not to qualify, but I will put 52 times of my 31-minute footwork practice between now and my first competition in February. My goal is to put 52 times of these 100 of 8 minutes small practices, 52 of deliberate practices when I go to the club and have an assignment. So things like this. And I think I'm sharing this, I'm digressing, but it's very much the same when it comes to your health. When you want to get improved, when you improve, get hold of your process, whatever it's arthritis, meniscal tears, weakness, patellar pain, or whatever that difficulty is, freedom of pain is kind of like gold medal. It's an outcome, but yes, you can set the goal about that, but it's much more important that the process, what you will do between now and 3 months from now and 6 months from now. This is what will matter the most. So what I would love to now do is to partner you up in groups of maybe 5 or maybe 4. We have 40 participants right now. And I know some people don't like to participate in the groups, so you don't have to, but it would be lovely if you did. So I'll do 10 groups of 4 people for just 5 minutes. You will be assigned to a group of most likely 4 people. Maybe some will have more, some less. And 2 questions. And talk to each other. 2 questions. If you did participate in the Outstanding Knees course, whether it was a full immersion or just a course, do-it-yourself course, I'd like to know and share with the group what was the number one thing that appealed to you, or what was the one takeaway. I have questions here. I'll share them with you. in the PowerPoint. So hopefully they can stay in the groups, play from start, and then go to this. So the first question is the one takeaway from the course that was important to you. This could be one exercise that make a biggest difference to you, one movement practice, one self-discovery, one, I don't know, self-discipline. Maybe you gained your kind of accountability sense that the course sparked for you. So one takeaway that was successful, that was important, that was good for you. The second question, and this will be for people who did participate in the course, or if you haven't, what is the most kind of common thing that interferes with your process, with your commitment, with your exercise commitment? We most often have these New Year's resolutions, and by February, we forget. What is the thing that interferes with your ongoing practice? So 5 minutes, person with the shortest hair starts, and you have probably 1 minute, let's say 1 minute to share. If there was one takeaway, and what interferes with your exercise practice, healing practice, fencing practice, or whatever practice you are doing. And I would love to hear from you, maybe a representative of each room. If you had a chance to be in the room with people who participated, I'd love to hear what were some takeaways from the course. If not, what holds you back? What interferes? So any brave volunteers to share what you heard from the group? Please.
Sure.
Sure. Go for it.
Ellen very wisely said, it's so nice to actually break away into different groups, and we get to hear very briefly, but it humanizes us all on what we're worried about or not doing enough of, or we haven't committed to it. So we're not kind of alone.
That's right. That's right. And it's normal to be kind of lost sometimes and mess up in the process. Any takeaways from the course?
I had a takeaway. I found that with the circuit, like we keep the circuit and even if I only did 2 of each, to go through the whole circuit and just say, I'm just going to quickly do a run through of the circuit, really was a boost to me. And that's something else that helps me is when I can have an exercise like a routine that I can kind of semi-memorize or have my body kind of know it by heart a little bit, makes it a lot more attractive to me than having to look at the sheet and come back. But I noticed even if some days I just did like just 2 reps, or I just did it a couple of times and then went to the next one to just give my knees that juice and that memory. And, other times I was able to concentrate a little bit more, but I didn't hold myself to the standard of perfection with the circuit, but I just tried to do it.
Fantastic.
And get through it.
Fantastic. I'm so delighted. Wonderful. Nai, you're raising a hand.
I finished the course, but I did it a while ago. And then when you start talking about having this meeting, and also I asked a question after the course, and they told me that I should do the B circuit, and I agree with the lady that was just talking. It is a fantastic guideline. And what happened was that I was doing it, I'm familiar with a lot of the movements, but then a couple of them, I start thinking more about it, and I went back to your course looking for answers. So I have some questions, but it's fantastic. And I know that in my group, timing was the restraint, the interfere with the doing the course. But as the previous person said, if you just give yourself the luxury of doing only what you have time for and be satisfied with what you did, it's just a really good boost for your ability. And then gradually you get into a habit. I remember one time that, I don't know which course I was taking from you, I took so many, that you said before you go to bed, you just do the maximum, the exhalation, I call it maximum exhalation 5 times. And then you consider that you did something for yourself. And occasionally I would do that and then I fall asleep. So I think that there are many ways to psychologically overcome this kind of like an obstacle of feeling bad about not doing something. And then the more you do, the easier it gets. And the circuit is a really good guide.
Super. I'm so delighted. And yes, so time is a big constraint. And a little, not full perfection. I love what Ellen says, like often perfectionism gets in our way because we feel, oh, I don't have the right outfit. I don't have my mat that is right. I don't have perfect conditions. My room is too tight. Oh, it's too cold or it's too late or what not. Absolutely. Joan, you have your hand up. You need to unmute yourself. Would be good to see you.
Hi.
Yep.
Yeah, I was not at the former lecture or what workshop, but people are talking about circuit. I don't know what it is.
What it is. It's an exercise simplified version of the entire course. It's intended to make a minimum. It's like it takes about 13 minutes of exercises. There are 11 of them, and you do it in 13 minutes. And they're designed to be done ideally every day, but if not every day, with some sort of regularity, 3 times a week or so. And this is the kind of the low-hanging fruit of the process that we're about. I think you will have a chance to experience some of these movements today. So no worries if you're newbie and if you have no idea what they're talking about.
Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else? Any other group? Any other constraints that you find? What holds you back from having a regular practice?
I think Ellen said it perfectly because a lot of us did. It was a little bit of motivation and time being the constraints, and I think Ellen's discussion covered both of those. You can, one of the things I said in the group, and this has been my quote excuse, is not enough time. Not enough time. You can always find time, even if you take Ellen's point of view, even if it's just a little. And we all said the circuit was like the best. And I do have to say, I watched the YouTube one. I don't even use the booklet. I just will repeat it. And it works. It just works. Every time, especially when I'm doing a regular, even if it's not a lot of that circuit, the pain goes away. It just, my knees aren't horrible, but the pain goes away or it's much reduced. So, you hit the nail on the head with the circuit.
As I said in the course, that my inspiration for this was Dr. Hans Kraus, with whom I used to work in my first years of my career. And he devoted all of his life to designing an exercise program that will be as broad in its reach and impact as possible to low back pain, to people with low back pain. And the exercises are simple, but sometimes it's just one movement, but repeated every day, just one movement, and it makes a difference. David, you're next.
I don't have the motivator of being in pain. So it allows me, like, even people who are in pain probably keep saying it's not big enough pain to do something about it. But what I did is, my sister has had knee replacement, and she she still doesn't seem to walk in a comfortable way. So I passed the information on to her.
Great. Fantastic. Did you, even you don't have the motivator, were you able to do some of the work or only the live sessions or?
I enjoyed the live session, but
live
I did
sessions.
not
Great.
do any follow-up exercise.
And there is no need to feel guilty. Absolutely not. Taffy, want to hear about your.
Well, I've.
Oh, you muted yourself. You unmuted and muted again. Now.
I've learned over the years with you that this is a building blocks. Anything you say can be applied to the moment now. When you talked about us in January setting up goals and more or less making an assessment of what was important if you could only change a few things. And I wrote that down and I used that to realize that I am not, even though I'm a big procrastinator, there's a way around it. I know my body, I know my time of day. And I told the other ladies that after 4:30, I don't care what's going on, I cannot do a Feldenkrais unless it was something that might help me sleep. So that I've eliminated that even from my routine to even think that I'm going to do something later in the day. So I'm establishing a routine for myself to get better because the total knee is a success. They say I'm 3 weeks ahead of where I should be in PT.
Excellent.
I'm at 3 degrees extension and I'm at 120 for flexion.
That's a nice range. Beautiful.
Yeah. So, and I told them that I've been working on my knee since last summer, doing a lot of your knee exercises and getting myself prepped for being in the best muscle shape to go into a surgery, to have that strong muscles already in place and not trying to make up for lost time. So I know why I'm ahead of the game. It's because I put the time in ahead of time. So my biggest takeaway is you always make things in chunks. You break it down, you make it easier to apply, and you do what you can to fit it into your schedule. But first of all, admit you cannot do it every single day for 365 days. Give yourself a break. I don't do it every single day. I do miss it. I'm addicted to it. I really am. It's part of the things that make me happy. So that's my big motivator. It's already in my nerve consciousness because of I'm a Feldy addict. So there you go.
Terrific. Terrific. First of all, congrats. And it all pays off. Like all the preparation to surgery it was so worth it. The movements, the changes in your brain that happened through lessons, the strength and flexibility that you developed through every day, or not every day, just regular work. Fantastic. David, one more, maybe okay. David and Anne, and then we'll move on to practice. Okay. Dave. Nope, you muted yourself. Unmute.
Okay, there you go. First, as I was saying in the room, your conscientiousness and your kindness and your understanding of the body is unparalleled. And that's true. That's true. Everyone you have in your staff is like that. Everyone you have has caring as part of it. And so, I had the shoulder surgery and I can do this. And everybody says, how the hell can you do that? And I say, Feldenkrais, and then their eyes glaze over. So, that's just what happens. What I find is helpful is just, like every week we get the weekly notices. And since I'm part of the yearly thing, I think I just was grandfathered into the knees. So what happened is whenever I got a notice about the knees, I showed up But the only notices I got was the first notice in July, the notice to get into the plug and club, and this notice. So when I went to this notice, I thought, oh, that's great. I'll get another knee course. And then it's like, hey, well, how'd you enjoy it? I thought, oh, no, I missed it. So
we have to check if you, because sometimes if you opt out or unsubscribe from our email list, and sometimes it happens by mistake, you click on something and then our system cannot send you the notifications.
okay,
so check with Wallace or with our front desk, email them, and they can check if you have. If not, you will need to just resubscribe and you will be getting notifications.
Okay, that's great. That's
beautiful.
Because as I said, I told people I've known you since 2018. And I'm whatever good shape I'm in, I attribute it to Feldenkrais and you and Mark and all those other ones, but everybody has a good heart. So there you go.
At your service. I'm so happy to hear that. And unmute yourself. We'll spotlight you for everyone. There you are.
Yeah. Hi, Mark. First, I'd just like to introduce myself because you know my sister, Sumati. She's one of your people. Anyway, she sends me stuff every now and then, and I'm a sometimes watcher of some of your things. I did not take the course, but I saw your email today and I thought, oh, I'll go do that, because yesterday actually I hurt my knee. I usually have, my knees don't usually give me any trouble. I can sit cross-legged, I can squat without pain. I mean, I'm flexible, fairly good. But I did some extended squatting whilst doing physical labor yesterday, and today my knee hurts a lot and it's swollen. I know this course isn't specifically about that, but I am curious if the things that you are teaching can help with healing the whatever the heck it was I did that makes my knee hurt today, or if while you're in the throes of the painful episode, if you should avoid stuff like that.
All right, let's get to work then. Anne is inspiring us to do some work. And one thing is, just to summarize, that all the difficulties that we have is the concept that changed my life completely is that concept of 1 push-up per day. If you want to get fit, but you always start big, you join gyms and 2 weeks later, you just never show up again. Start with one thing, but consistently. One thing, ideally every day. Just one thing that you really have no excuse. 1 push-up a day, you can do it. Right before you go to bed, you go and you do 1 push-up. Done. Success. The mind is such a funny beast that when you already doing it, you'll say to yourself, I'll do 2, I'll do 3. And then the perverted mind is such that you will start to just challenging yourself more or more. But don't start with ambitious, because that's a problem of the Feldenkrais method. It's so vast. There are over 1,000 of lessons. Each lesson is 45 minutes or longer. You could just drown in this stuff. It's fabulous stuff. I love it. But when you're trying to solve a problem or put yourself on the path, sometimes it just gets overwhelming. So start with one thing and every day. And how about if we do that? Please come to the floor and we'll do some practice. I'll mute everyone. Please stay muted throughout the rest of the session. And how about if we do the following? We will do the knee circuit or parts of it, maybe just a couple of movements of each. And then we'll do a Feldenkrais lesson. And I'll start a new recording. So while you're getting on the floor, get a pillow if you need to be comfortable. I'll start a new recording.